بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hello everybody. Good evening. Do you hear my voice, please? وعليكم السلام مرحبا. Thank you. Saad. Ahir. Okay, thank you very much. Just all of you are here because I see in the mail room have 9 students only. Welcome, Ayman. Okay, inshallah, let us start our session. But before we start our session, I have some important points I have to mention and discuss it with you. As you know, now we are in week 6, and we are starting to our course too late because I think the instructors from Franklin University who didn't attend most of the week have been done without any teaching. But inshallah, I have a good news for you. Inshallah, as the university, our head department of our department in Saudi University, he said the examination or midterm exam exactly, inshallah, will include it, cover the week 1 until week 5. So inshallah, we will focus on week 1 until week 5. That's mean from chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and finally chapter 5 from the textbook. And inshallah, we will try our best to complete chapter 3 and 4 inshallah today, and next week inshallah there is no new things in the exam, only from chapter 1, yes I did, only from chapter 1 to chapter 5, but maybe that professor from Franklin University, he can record or doing some recording lecture. Maybe you will find it in the platform. So we will try to find that lecture, either he did or not, or the exam, midterm exam specifically, from chapter 1 to chapter 5. Adil, you said when no time? What do you mean by when no time? Yeah. The recording maybe, I said maybe, if he attends, he can recording the lecture and deposit it in the platform collaboration. Maybe if you have time or after ending from the preparation of midterm exam, you can just listen on it and check it for further information and to be more related with this lecture, inshallah. Okay. So I hope to deliver all this announced and important information regarding the content of midterm exam to all your colleagues and all your students. If he didn't hear or get me relative information about the midterm exam. Okay. Today, inshallah, we will take 2 small sessions regarding leadership in management or regarding in healthcare management, and moreover management itself, we need to identify also the manager and the role of manager on healthcare sector. Okay. Inshallah, let us to have a look on the outcome or objective learning in this session. Inshallah, we will need to understand and distinguish between leadership and management. These two important terminology. We need to identify and recognize some features regarding leadership and management. Moreover, to summarize the history of leadership in some countries such as United States of America, from past time until recent years. Decide to compare and contrast leadership style, competence, and protocols. We need also to analyze the key barriers or some challenges to face this process to successful leadership, and provide rationale for why healthcare leaders have a greater need for ethical behavior and so on. Hello, wa alaikum salam. Yasir, okay. Okay, let us do it until 6:15. Okay. Okay, assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Let us to start from the beginning once again. I would like to remind you about the midterm exam. Midterm exam, inshallah, cover week 1 up to week 5. It will cover only these weeks because we start too late. Actually, last week we have taken 2 lectures and still we have 2. So inshallah today we will cover week 3 and week 4. And all of that equal from textbook from chapter 1 until chapter 5. Okay, Mahir, inshallah, I will do announcement regarding this important point. And also maybe inshallah next week that Professor from Franklin, either he or me, inshallah, we will make a pre-recording about week 7 lecture Y, in order maybe some of you have attend or have midterm exam schedule, so there will be no live session or virtual session in week 8. But also I will be inshallah available for you if you have any inquiry or any question. Welcome inshallah at any time. Yasir, we just finished all the chapters on day 2. Sorry, I missed your point, Yasir. Can you repeat it again? Yeah, exactly. Last lecture we did chapter 1, chapter 2 also, and chapter 5. But inshallah today we will continue to cover chapter 3 and chapter 4. Okay. Is it possible? Because today we have we will inshallah cover 2 chapters, chapter 2, 3, 3 and 4 inshallah. Chapter 5, that is automatically last lecture is covered and reconnected with chapter 1 and 2. You can make a revision. We taken, let me show you. Last lecture, we have taken introduction to healthcare and healthcare management, and also overview on healthcare management leadership. Inshallah, this lecture we will take leadership and management and motivation. And also, last Thursday we taken organization behavior and management thinking. Am I right or wrong? Please, anyone can feedback me. Yes, sir. Am I right? Yes, Ali. الخميس الجاي بداية للميدتيرم. So that is why there is no new lecture, inshallah, next week. So it is maybe it is recorded and deposited on the Blackboard collaboration. So all of the situation now it is obvious and clear. Yeah, exactly. But actually also chapter 1 as introduction and some definitions of terminology regarding healthcare management. So it is included in the midterm exam. So that is what I mean. The midterm exam cover from week 1 up to week 5. Ali, please look at the. Did you see the? I shared the desktop from you. Did you see the week 1 have content introduction to the course? Week 2 an overview of healthcare management. That's already have been done. Okay. Week 3, inshallah, today we will learn it about leadership, and inshallah also we will cover, if we have enough time, management and motivation in brief. And organization behavior and management already we have taken last week, because the system are joining. This is by mistake. Join organization behavior with chapter 2 and an overview of healthcare management. So I think now we have 2 weeks left, or 2 chapters left. We have to learn it in order to cover all the chapters from 1 till week 5 in order to be you in safe side for midterm exam, inshallah. So right now all of you understand my point. Yes, exactly. Okay, Ayman. My point regarding the midterm exam, inshallah, midterm exam will cover from week 1 up to week 5. So we already have taken week 1, that is equal chapter 1, have some introduction, some definitions from some terminology and so on. Okay. Last week we have taken also week 1 and week 2. Week 2 have contained an overview of health care management and leadership. Okay. The Blackboard by default merge week 5, that is chapter 5, with week 2, and already we have taken it. Okay. Just we left 2 weeks, week 3 and week 4. Inshallah, today we will cover leadership, that is in week 3, and management and motivation also, that is, inshallah, if we have enough time we will cover it. So that is mean we have learned, inshallah, by the end of this day we will learn 5 chapters or 5 weeks. That is all, inshallah, will be in the midterm exam. So be more attention about all of these chapters and weeks included in the midterm exam from chapter 1 to chapter 5, or on other way from week 1 to week 5. Is it clear, Ayman? Okay, thank you. I wish you good luck and all the best in the exam, inshallah. And I will be available for you if that Franklin doctor not available and not joining the session or of his time. I will be instead of him, inshallah, to help you to get everything in good manner and be safe side, inshallah. If no more questions, let us to get back to our session today, inshallah. Okay. Today, inshallah, we will start to learn about leadership. This is a very important issue also regarding healthcare management. So let us to see some did you see the PPT slides? Okay. Sorry guys, let me to sign out and sign in once again because I have a little bit problem regarding to the loading of content, okay? Can you hear my voice? Okay. Let us to start, inshallah, our session today, inshallah, regarding leadership. As we said, this is a very important information and very important point regarding any healthcare program and healthcare management. Let us to elaborate a little bit about the objective and outcome from our lecture today, inshallah. We have to distinguish between two terminology usually used in leadership and management. It is we have to distinguish between leadership and management and summarize the history of leadership from some countries such as the United States of America from past time until recent year. Compare and contrast leadership style because have some feature can distinguish the leadership such as skills, competence, and protocol. Moreover, the summarize old and new governance trend due to leadership and management. Analyze key barriers and some challenge face the successful of leadership. Besides, provide a rationale for why healthcare leaders have a greater need for ethical behavior. Also, we need to explore important new initiatives requiring healthcare leaders engagement and discuss special research issue related to leadership. That is all our objective and learning outcome we have to focus on this issue, inshallah. Let us to start about some question and put in comparisons between leadership and management. Here, this is slides that highlighting some arguments like leadership versus management. The first question: are leader and manager in the same people or are the same people? Anyone have any idea or any difference, substantial difference between leader and manager? Okay, Ayman, if you have some idea, please go ahead to. We are very pleased to hear from you. Okay, but in any business setting or such as hospital, healthcare service, medical centers, and so on, there's leaders as well as managers, sometimes as the same, but in different situation. These the same people, not necessarily, because there is a leaders who are good managers and there is a manager who are good leaders. That is in some circumstances. But usually neither case is normal. In a healthcare, for example, this is especially important to recognize these two terminology. Okay, I mean our managers are our leaders too. Yeah, you mean the same meaning. Okay, but here I am agree with you, but in with some exception. There is some exception. I have to elaborate for you and tell you. In some business, such as hospital or healthcare, it's especially important to recognize between two terms because we need both of them. Okay, but healthcare is unique in that it is a service industry, and that depends on large number of highly trained personnel as well as trade service or workers. Whatever the settings, be it a hospital or long-term care facilities or any centers, medical advice company, and so on. All of them, some other healthcare entities leader as well as manager. So it is in same term. But in Healthcare has a special need for both, as we said, because managers have some organizing and both some planning and identify some objectives according to the strategic plan and so on. And what I have to say, the leaders, it is doing act and leading to motivate and to motivate or to improve or doing as inspire to motivate all the team member and worker and so on. Hassan, every manager is leader, but not every leader is manager. Not at all. I will give you some examples. Skills are often regarded as one of the same to many businesses, whereas the manager exists to blame these feature or responsibility of manager exists to planning, organizing, and coordinate a leader. But a leader like serve to inspire or to motivate or to create a good environment for worker, for any people who under responsibility. Okay, let us give an obvious example, like in military. Okay, military, a manager is a battlefield general, like big boss of the military and so on, while leader is a commander-in-chief. Sometimes can achieve that any order from the manager and so on. So I think this is a very clear example to. Okay, thank you, Hassan. But as I said, in some centers or business, the leader and manager are same at all. Leader focus is more external to organization. That is the point of view of leaders. That is to as prospective and looking for the future. There is a crossover into various areas. Here, this is a diagram and elaborate and explain the relationship, continual interaction between all elements of model. This is a leadership and management focus on here external stakeholder like media, government, strategic partner, financial stakeholder, community groups, and health policy, law and regulation, and vendors as itself. In internal stakeholder like administration, management focus on internal issue and operation system, and professional skills doing inside internal stakeholder. That means the manager in the center point of all stakeholders regarding and to interact with the administrations, internal issue with professional and operation. And leaders have crossover tasks or missions to deal with media, government, strategic partner, financial, community, and some regulation, policy, law, and finally with the vendors. Okay. Here some also definitions and highlighting points regarding leadership versus management competence. The leadership competence can setting direction or mission. On the other hand, management competence is staffing personnel. I think managers are like the process at work, but the leaders are the people who have more experience and not necessarily be a boss. Yeah, exactly. And always motivate you and teach you. Exactly, you are right. That is a very good idea and very summarized information regarding manager and leader. Thank you very much. Thank you for your comments. Regarding leader competence or leader skills, have motivating stakeholders, as Hassan said, and manager controlling resource. Why? Because he's top manager and needs to save his money, his resource, and everything under responsibility. Leadership, being an effective spokesperson, because have a good character, have skills, communications, and so on. Meanwhile, the manager supervising the service provided. Leadership competence determining strategy for future and transforming the organization. The manager overseeing adherence to regulation and counseling on employee or any employer. Here, this is the history of leadership in the United States. Leadership has been around since the beginning for man or small employee, but we think of the strongest male becoming the leader of any position or any title in the stakeholder. Here, leadership theory related to the society over the times. And formal studies conducted for the last 100 years have only been around for the last 100 years for leadership study in the United States through the time. Great man theory also are involved in the history of leadership, and inshallah we will discuss it in detail in having next slides. Style, approach, situational, and contingency of task, goal, leader-member exchange, transformation of approach, and team itself, team leadership, and self-actualization leadership, adaptive leadership, and global leadership. Let us to have a look here for some leadership theory in United States. These tables also show the period since 1920s up to 2010. That is from the ancient time up to the recent or modern time. Period of leadership theory and great man and styles approach, continuity, as all points we have said in the previous slides. The leadership focus here as the sum function, like a great man having certain inheritance traits or skills. Style approach, task competition and developing relationships. Situational approach need for focusing the subordinates and both style and situation. The leader-member exchange, interaction between leader and subordinate. Transformation approach that is raise consequences and empower flower. Team leadership, team leadership here, team performance and development. Self-actualized leadership, that is introspection and concern of meaningfulness. The last one, adaptive leadership. Here, the leadership focus to build capacity and capacity building for their responsibilities, their part of organizing and so on, to thrive in a new reality, recognizing the impact of globalization for many sectors or many operations. What is happened? What is wrong here? Yes, Adil, the midterm exam is from chapter 1 up to chapter 5. That is mean from week 1 until week 5. Okay, now it's okay. Let us to have a look on contemporary models. The self-actualized leadership theory. Emotional intelligence that is have some features that can distinguish the leadership. Like self have some emotional intelligence when he self-awareness, like deep understanding of one's and emotional to drive everything in good manners. And the second, contemporary, authentic leadership, and inspiration leadership, diversity leadership, servant. Ayman, did you see the PPT slides? Okay, all of you can see it. Now we are in contemporary models. Is it also for you? Yeah, all right, okay. The contemporary leadership models here, this is also tables talking about the emotional intelligence application to healthcare leadership, abbreviated by EI, in emotional intelligence definitions here. Self-awareness, emotional and drive, that is mean a deep understanding of one's knowing if your value are congruent with organization. The self-regulation over impulses, definitions, adaptability to change and control, considering ethics of giving bribes to doctors. Feature of emotional intelligence to motivation, that means ability to enjoy challenge and being optimistic even when census is low. Empathy definitions, social awareness skills, yourself in another's shoes. Leadership application, putting settings a patient-centered vision for organization. The last, emotional intelligence, regarding the social skills, means superative communications, ability to influence and inspire. Leadership application skills, having an excellence reported with board. Leadership style model give us a broad understanding of someone's leadership philosophy. Style demonstrates a particular type of leadership behavior that is consistently used. Some styles are more appropriate to use with certain healthcare or healthcare worker or healthcare centers, depending on their educational training, competence, motivation, experience, and personal needs. The environment must also be considered when deciding which style is the best fit. Here the leadership styles. Let us skip this style because these already have been discussed in that table. Let us to have a look on leadership competence. The leaders have a difficult set of competencies like more forward thinking and set direction for the organization, motivate employee or worker and stakeholders, keep entity on course, effective spokesperson, determine strategy for future, and transform organization. That is leadership competence. Followership. The complementary to leadership, for every leader needs a follower. That is a given role for every settings. Not everyone can or should be leader. That is, as Hassan he said, there is a big substantial difference between manager and leader. But here, not everyone can or should be a leader, because leader have some criteria, some skills, and have ability to deal with everything as his intelligence and gentleman. True leader inspire commitment. Leader cannot be self-absorbed and recognize importance of getting respect. The leadership competency, certain skills such as knowledge, ability, organizing, and planning, and so on, functional and technical. Sorry, Ayman, you are not following me over all that is PPT slides. All of you, as Ayman, please, you are not following me during the PPT appearing the screen. Oh my God. I think there is a technical problem on my Blackboard Collaborate Hub. Hassan, what is the last PPT you have seen? Leadership competence? Yeah, that is also for me. But I don't know for Ayman and Adil. Mahir also, leadership theory in United States. That means we have to make update. Okay, guys, let us to stop here and taking break for 5 minutes in order to adjust all this regarding issue about PPT, and inshallah we will continue for merge chapter 3 and chapter 4 in one session, inshallah. Okay, inshallah we'll try to deal everything. Okay, thank you, Hassan, thank you for your advice. Assalamu alaikum guys. Let us to start and continue from last PPT. We have learned regarding leadership competence, and as we said, a leader needs certain skills such as knowledge and ability and other skills to be successful. So they are called all of these feature called competence. The pressure of healthcare industry have initiated the examination of a set of core competency for a leader where in healthcare setting. Okay. Here also the leadership domain and competence. Domain function and technical, the competence, knowledge of business and business achievement, like strategy, vision, decision making and decision quality. Managerial ethics and value, regarding also to problem solving. Change management, dealing with ambiguity. System thinking, governance. All of this regarding the domain of functional and teaching. Let us have a look on domain interpersonal, competence, communication, motivating, empowerment of subordinates, management of group process, conflict management and resolution, have ability to Hello guys, do you hear me well? Hello, anyone hear me well? Is my voice clear? Thank you, Mahir. I'm deeply sorry. I'm really sorry. Today I have faced so many problems. Uncounted internet connection or something in my Blackboard collaboration hub. But I hope to accept my apologies regarding this problem and disconnecting for so long time. But inshallah, I will go through. No, not sorry. I'm worried also. Right now, time is 7:48. I think it is running so fast, but inshallah we will try to cover what's remaining. Okay, let us to have a look on leadership protocol. The leadership protocol is the way a leader acts as a professionalist. Recipe protocol, trust and reset, confident, optimistic, and patient. Being visible, looking for future and current situation. Open communicator, and risk talker. And finally, also admitting to fault and controlling to deal with everything under controllability. The governance, collectively assuming strategic oversight, like top accountability for everybody or for any employee, board of director or board of trustees, heightened security, transparency and accountability. Each member has a fiduciary responsibility and responses, meaning for healthcare delivery. Healthcare governance trained in a smaller group, balance of members within the outside. That means intrinsic and extrinsic factor. Conflict of interest disclosure, strategic information planning for present, evaluation used to identify the clear situation, generative source of leadership. Barrier and some challenges have faced leadership. In healthcare is a dynamic industry, like leadership. Physicians, new technology have invented or available and affordable and accessible culture of safety. Ethical responsibility, exhibiting appropriate behavior, doing right versus doing wrong, what is wrong, what is going on. Bioethics, managerial ethics, code of ethics. Now, do you hear my voice right now, Hassan? Is it okay right now? Okay, thank you, sir. Call for new breed of healthcare leaders, facing and going well with challenging time. Key elements of success will be perspective and adaptability and patience. Leaders looking to the future. This is a substantial goal for an element featuring the leader. Leadership can be taught, continual leadership development, and professional association with member and worker and employee. Look for partner and join with some stakeholder, keeping current, reassess how he or she fits into organization, consider succession planning. I don't know what has happened today. Today I have so many problems that Can you hear my voice right now? Okay, thank you, Hassan. Okay, now let us to go to chapter 4. Look for chapter 4 regarding the management. Let me close this session first and then to upload another one in order to avoid any mistake or any double concerning. So now you see the new PPT regarding the chapter 4. This chapter 4 talking about management. Hello? Okay, see the first page. Okay. Management and motivation. Introduction, motivation, define it, and motivation versus engage. Why motivation matters? The history of intrinsic reward, extrinsic reward. So, who motivates employee can support them? The first, manager versus employee themselves. Is everyone motivated? Across generation. Motivation, according to the Webster New Collegiate Dictionary, that defines to concept go hand in hand. Engaged healthcare employees display the following characteristics are more productive, are more focused on patient outcome focus on patient care and treatment, are safer or in the safe side, are loyal to their employer, model positive behavior of engagement, witness greater profitability